It is Einar first.
Ooh, I know the first.
Yes, it is windy and extremely cold outside, between negative 36 Celsius and negative 45. Um, Fortunately, clear skies. And the thing you should know about how extremely cold it is that you cannot heal without a shelter and fire. You have to have both things, and it has to be legit shelter. Horses would perish in this weather. Now, fortunately, Cameron, as someone suggested, Cameron take the Yeti cloaks. So I assume, Cameron, that you, based on your background, took those and crafted them into cloaks. Perhaps you have not started yet on your business, so everybody has these big heavy cloaks that inure them to the biting, freezing winds. Without those, you would take D6 damage per hour, which cannot be healed without fire and shelter. So, on your journey back, because Oron has not seen these lands in a long time, I assume at this point it's become clear to Oron that that you have been gone.
Right.
So
Yeah, there's very little I recognize. Things that were there, gone. Things that are there now are different. The landscape's miserable, but I
it
don't know if that's changed much. But
it has changed, and it is miserable. Places where you once saw powerful imperial roads and mighty bridges
yeah,
now lay in ruins or have been overgrown for a very long time. The place of once where there were spires and towers and castles now have overgrown, and it's questionable whether even stones lay in the ground in those places. And you come in the freezing cold to a riverfront village, a shanty town, not surrounded by mighty stone battlements, but rather rustic and rugged wooden palisades, a double set of them. And surrounding it are desperate shanties, sometimes stacked one on top of another. This is a desperate and sad shadow of the Empire of Albion that you once knew. And interestingly, I probably everyone else here is quite proud of it because it was actually a lot worse. And now it has gotten better. Um, and you are all in a tavern on this riverfront, which has become uh, quite like home to the rest of you, except for Cameron and Oron. Um, it looks as if much, in some ways, has not changed, Oron, and however long this has been. If you speak with Magnus, your two minds are easily able to put the details together that it has been probably 200 years since you have seen Albion. But when you make it to this tavern, you see a roaring fireplace that makes it a sweaty, balmy, hot um, place to sit in the cold. It's actually kind of miserably hot in here. Uh, there's an endless pot of never-ending stew that's kept continually turning out food for people that still have to do work in the winter. And there are a spattering of people in here, chatting, and they all seem to recognize the black-cloaked people that come in and sit at a certain table. And otherwise, many things haven't changed. Wooden beams, the smell of tobacco smoke stained in the walls, heavy oaken tables and chairs and earthenware cups for plain ale of a poor quality. For a gold piece, Amran and Oran, you can stay the night and have food for the night and the next day. If you want storage, you must pay 1 gold piece per day. I think you have plenty of gold, though. And with that, are there any plans that you would like to make before you set out on your journey the next day? I said it was 1st of Einrar, and I get it wrong again. It's the 31st of the previous month. The night before, is there anything that you'd like to discuss with everybody or on any plans? Or, sorry, Cameron.
What's your idea, Flanagan?
Well, I have one thought, which is if we're going to go to there was a room with statues, and we were going to try to turn statue back to flesh and talk to them. That's the main goal, right? I think we should bring mirrors aplenty. That's my thought.
I agree with that. Does everybody else agree with that?
I think it's good sense.
Sounds fun.
I already produced this one.
You already got one? All right. I wouldn't mind getting a mirror if I could then.
Same.
You might think me cruel, but it is the heart of winter, and such things do not come and go anymore. And so, for the stock of mirrors that Rasmus has, for the first few, he would charge a normal price, but if you purchase all 5, he demands that you pay triple.
Okay. How much is a miroir? Let's look here in the old bookaroo. Mirrors are, small steel mirror is 20 gold. So 20 gold for 5 and then up to 60 beyond that?
For the first 2 and then 60 for the last 3. He has 5.
Okay.
Well, I'll get one of the 60s, just to be nice.
Sure. So
I'll pay a 60.
I got the money
As will I.
saved.
I actually have some cash remote, having no good place to dump it. So, I will happily hang on to it. For the first time in a while, I actually have a very large sum of money that I'm not sure what to do with.
Yes.
I had one other thought.
I can think of a good cause.
Patience.
One other thought I had was whether, I don't know if Flanagan would think of this, but if Oron, is that your name, Nick?
Yeah. Yep.
If Oron was around 200 or 300 years ago, I wonder if it'd be valuable to, like, if you know where old towers were, old castles or things like that, if there are old ruins, things that used to be here that might identify where certain ruins are or something like that. But maybe that's for another conversation. I don't know. Another day. Stick to the plan right now.
That would be a great question, but I think at the moment, considering what I've been through, I have no landmarks. There's very little other than maybe like a river or something like that that's pretty unchanging.
Mm-hmm.
Anything I recognize from 200 years ago is gone. I'm a stranger in a strange land at this point.
I wonder if you would know if, like, there was a monastery by the river. Remember that place we got scared of, everybody, where there was something invisible outside? I don't know how old that was.
It's fairly far away from here, even back then.
Yeah.
This was a more civilized place. He still might not have heard of it, but that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's for another thing to think about, or maybe it'll come up in play too.
I mean,
That place,
sounds interesting.
yes, and it was very interesting and very scary. It featured an invisible foe.
It took a big chunk out of me.
Well, now I'm more interested.
It stunk of high level. It felt very.
It was not a terrestrial creature. It was not some... I don't think it was something made invisible. It was just something that had no visible form. Like, you cannot dispel its invisibility because that's just what it is. It's not a magical trick. You have
It's
to
just
learn
what
to
our
see what cannot be seen.
eyes just can't conceive it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, no more than we can see the air or see water when we're in water.
I wonder if it would be trapped by a web.
That's a good question.
I didn't have one last time we...
It certainly hit me
What?
like something hard enough to web me, to be webbed.
But that's another conversation again for another time. We have much to attend to in the countryside about. There's no doubt.
And for a warmer season as well.
Right. The way you all
Agreed.
talk, I'm not sure you want to see it.
Oh, there's something valuable there. I have no doubt.
Ross, I wanted to ask a question. The men that returned the stone, how were they garbed?
They were garbed like adventurers with weapons and belts and cloaks and tunics. One, I'm pretty sure I mentioned, had a pointy hat and robes.
There's a chance they might not survive the trip back to Cadence Rest.
A distinct chance.
The other thing, Cameron, there are several people in here, in the tavern. They do not look like adventurers. They look like common workers. Then there's the server and the daughter of Odo Solak. Is there anything else that you... doesn't sound like anybody's got any plans, schemes, other than the mirrors.
Well, the scheme is, I guess we should talk about, perhaps we should talk about what order to unstone them. My argument would be to free one of the ones, because there's two carrying a chest, correct?
Yes.
It would be to free one of the ones carrying the chest and see if the chest would be freed by that alone. And then, if so, examine the chest and deal with the person individually, depending on how they react to being awakened. Learn what we can. Then, if necessary, get the second one if we need them to free the chest. Otherwise, with them, the same plan. Anyway, that's my idea about. But then we learn about them. We learn from them the nature of the company and whether or not we need to be cautious or overcautious. That's my thought.
Sound plan.
I
Sounds
agree.
good.
I'm not sure about anyone else.
I'm down
How
for
many
it.
people were adventurers returned to stone?
Well, I drew 1, 2, 3, 10.
10.
Yeah.
10?
And only 2 of them hold true. Yeah, it does seem
So
more cautious to...
So this may have been an accident or a mishap between two adventuring parties that ended up with all of them being turned to stone.
Yeah. Well,
We
when we
have
go
to-
back there, maybe we need to spend a bit more time.
Examining
Can't
their...
remember if they all seem like adventurers or not.
We didn't waste any time in that room, if I recall, because we were afraid of whatever might have turned them to stone, so we didn't spend a lot of time examining them, I think. We just sort of took in the basics and moved on.
I was turned to stone in a privy, and I have no idea how it happened. So who knows with this crew?
Good point.
Sure. Let's get there and see. My thought is to get there and then take a closer look, and our minds might change when we're there too, and what to do.
Well, I mean, should we purchase them winter clothing? Well,
How many... Do we have any spare Yeti skins laying around?
We could go hunt a Yeti.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
If there are Yetis around here, I want to get rid of them.
Well, you're the tracker, my friend.
I think we need to go hop from structure to structure, stay overnight, and stay on the trails. As far as I can figure, it's colder out there than it's almost ever been.
Well, we could just bring firewood to the... I mean, we could just bring firewood to the entrance of the Mouth of Doom. I mean, the first level of the Mouth of Doom is still not safe, but it's vastly safer than it was when we first got here. We could just hunker down and protect some territory for a while.
Well, there's a tower there now, right?
Is that so?
There is the constructions of a tower, yes.
Nice.
You have one there and at the lumber camp, thanks to Flanagan.
So, if necessary, if they prove to be friendly, they might survive the trip from the dungeon to the tower, the closest tower to the.
Yeah,
Or
and
with
I
the log-
apologize.
Then-
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that then food will become a problem. Feeding them all.
If you want
Perhaps-
extra food, I don't know if you can carry it, but that would be regular price, actually, unlike last winter. Prepared well.
And
If our plan is to wake them and bring them back to Caden's Rest, we're gonna have to buy winter clothing for them.
Yeah. Well, then, yeah. So, can we bring some mules, etc., and the mules stay outside in the construction of the tower, and they've got all the stuff we need?
So, no, animals at this point would not survive, and there's no stabling. However,
Okay.
to be clear, if you brought them out, they could survive, because you have regular like they have to change. Like when there's a break in the weather, if it's possible, they have to rotate out. So, and they also need to be resupplied. So, you can assume that's happening.
Okay.
It would just be a matter of the expense. So,
Well, shall we go then?
Sounds fine.
Sounds fine to me.
Tally ho.
go to bed. You awaken the next day to a clear blue sky, but a completely white earth. Paths are now frozen hard in places. Ice. Where do you go?
Everybody's thought on where we should go.
So there's a road that goes. I don't know. It's not on this map that we're looking at right now, but there's a road along the coast, which is what we took, like on the east coast there. That goes down to the fish camp. Is that the way to go, everybody? Actually, never mind. What is the way to go here?
well, that's a way to go. We can go that way, or we can go the west road. I'd kind of like to take a trip by that camp that's run by another friend of mine.
At
The
bridge
bailiff?
there?
Yeah, I'd like to go maybe just run by and see how he's doing and then we can turn south from there. That's just, again, it's up to but we've got the sort of east road along the river that then we would cut west to get to the Mouth of Doom, or west out of Zelkor's Ferry to the bailiff camp and then south from there, if my memory serves me.
I don't want to bury this fact. You're traveling at about a quarter of your usual speed, so what has been happening is you have a tower here and then a tower down here that you sprint to. That's essentially what happens, and then you...
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, and there's people whichever route, I guess, maybe just as proposal, the route that the people take to get from the tower at the Mouth of Doom, like that's the traveled route. That's where if something goes wrong, we're more likely to find other people, and there's going to be a trail that's been worn out of the snow as well. So
Now, if you wanted to add the extra 2 days, this is about a day's travel, and then that'd be a day's travel either back to Caden's or to the tower. So you could go to...
No. I didn't want... It's not a huge... I was just a suggestion for one of the ways. I forgot about the sprint through the towers part.
Cool.
I don't think any of us would realistically want to be out here longer than we absolutely have to.
Yeah, I agree. It's chilly.
I agree too.
Very well.
All right.
So Cameron is at to the first tower along the south, and then trying to make it to the next tower the next day before sunset.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Cool.
Let's see.
We've got our standard traveling mercenaries with us. 3 of them.
I have 3. It makes sense. What you all have been doing is you use this as a change of guard anyway. So then, like, they arrive and then the others, go and. I don't know,
Okay.
Are these mercenaries hired by the party? Like, are we sharing the cost of that, or do they belong to any particular member of this group?
I think
take,
they're.
oh, go ahead.
I think they're part of the Hounds of the Pine, which I have the handling the cost of.
As you're traveling along this road, you find that there's not much movement about. Bright as the skies are and the day, it is so cold. I forgot to mention it's also windy, which is part of, you can include that temperature, the wind chill in that temperature is why it's so miserable. And that your Yeti cloaks keep you warm. But everyone else is very well inside. And things are everyone is kind of hibernating. But as you travel, Algar, you feel like you see things in the distance, movement, eyeballs, a tromping in the snow that is different than human. But at first, you think maybe just some creature. Then you think maybe, is it one creature with many eyes? And then eventually it becomes clear that it is many creatures with many eyes that are stalking you all. Algar, you notice this as you're traveling.
So I can't determine... It looks like from the map that we are still pretty close within the limits of the outer city. Is that correct? Or have we just escaped? Are we past the limits of the outer city?
You are about 2.5 miles to the south. You're along the Red Quay, the frozen, this kind of side riverfront here where all the fishermen are, what we used to call the fisherman village.
All right. And the eyes, where are they coming from?
To the southwest. You can see
within
them,
the forest.
Yeah, you can see them
towards the forest.
130 yards away, far off in the distance.
And I assume it is difficult to get any sort of details because of the snow and the cold, and opening your eyes all the way is painful, and so on.
So far, it's hard to get details.
Well, I will make sure the rest of the crew is appraised of our stalkers, and to be prepared for the possibility of trouble. I do not wish them to surprise us, but at this range, I'm certainly not comfortable opening up unilateral violence.
If they're coming from the forest, are we in a position to sort of skirt the forest, to go along the bank of the river, and just avoid that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the usual way.
Okay.
Yeah, you could do that until you need to get to the tower, and then you'll need to go up that hill
Yep.
into the forest. But okay, Cameron, is the plan to continue on with this new information?
I'm pretty sure I want to continue.
Okay, you do that, and it is very slow going as you tromp through the heavy the ice and snow and slip around and everything. And, it gets dark quickly. The day flees, and as in the twilight of the sunset, Algar, roll a d6.
Uh-oh. Surprised on a 1.
This is where
On
the
a
fun
one.
begins.
This is the end. This is it.
Doom!
First one.
Let them be
The
one
worst
guys.
one.
That means only one creature, right? There's only one thing.
If only.
No,
Or it's the worst possible result is what that's how I'm interpreting it the worst way.
16% of the time, it happens every time. Don't stress out about it.
I was over here. Magnus has been lost in thought throughout the entire journey, and that's because I'm deeply contemplating how I can turn this assassin around on that old fool who sent him after me.
Nice.
Oh.
We haven't had a lot of time just to chill at the
No,
tavern and
it
think
had-
about
there-
things.
No, but there's definitely plans to make. Magnus is always thinking about something.
I'm prepared, so
Now I'm snapped out of my reverie.
all right. Who's up front?
I think Flanagan would be one of the people near the front. Actually, I should say Flanagan tries to stick close to Magnus. So I'm in front of Magnus. I might not be right in the lead.
Okay, so we got Flanagan and who else? Mercenaries, or are they in the second
Sure,
round?
yeah.
Algar.
Algar.
Algar would probably be in the front, actually, looking at for tracks, wouldn't you? And then we'd be right
Yeah.
behind you, maybe.
I got those 30 hit points for a reason.
All right. Algar, you only have moments. Actually, I gotta do theirs. Okay. Yeah, you only have moments when all of a sudden you hear the ground shake. And something that looked as if it were just a snowbank suddenly rises up and attacks you.
So I don't like the sound of that one bit.
That's so good.
There we go.
Oh,
The cause of and solution to all our problems.
hey, look at that.
Oh boy.
Is that the Yeti y'all were so keen on?
And so it attacks. Let's see, does a 17 and a 22 hit for Algar?
Those should both hit, yes. AC is 15.
Make a strength save.
Okay. Just barely.
Nice. You narrowly avoid 2d8 damage as this thing tries to give you a nice big hug, but not bad. It pummels you into the snow nearby for 5 points of damage. Everyone can see flecks of blood fly from Algar's nose into crimson specks into the bright white snowbank as this thing howls and roars and just pummels into your front rank. And Cameron, you can roll for initiative, a d6.
I wonder if they're mad about us wearing Yeti coats. They're probably mad about us wearing Yeti coats.
It's a D6, right?
A d6, that's right. Nice. House wins. Algar,
Yes.
roll another d6 to see if you are surprised about something else.
Oh, Lord have
my
mercy.
gosh.
It's not this one. I see the second one. I'm awake now.
Yeah, well, he is surprised. I rolled a 1. This is glorious. You see dozens of eyes that you saw earlier surround around the back end of these things.
Oh my gosh.
All right, it's your all's turn. We have the hard copy book up. My bad. Let's see.
Oh.
Okay.
While you're doing that, maybe we can have a discussion amongst
Yeah,
the players.
stunts, schemes, tricks, all those things, plans.
My thought is bring this big sucker down, and they'll feast on it, these hungry wolves, and we'll just leave.
That's
That
smart.
makes sense to me.
That is smart thinking.
Okay, and maybe there's a question for
they-
the GM on what these wolves. I guess we don't really know this. They're just all looking at us right now, right? So, yeah, let's see if they start to surround us. Maybe the plan's going to change. But that sounds good.
They all, have noses, and they all seem pointed at this big hulking figure. They look like they're getting ready to pounce.
Oh,
Great.
I love it when a
Perfect.
plan comes together by accident in a real hurry.
I'm going to declare magic missile.
All right. So you got that spell, Father Bloombad. Any spells, Ron? Spells? No?
Yeah, I'm making sticks to snakes.
All right. Get your snakes. You get your snakes.
Whole
So
lot
it's not
of
good
counters
snake
on
weather. These are going to be very short-lived snakes.
You only gotta
They always are.
last for like 30 seconds, I
Ooh,
guess.
he's spoken.
All right. So, okay. And then Oron. Any spells?
I want to have a sleep, and we could put the Yeti to sleep and let the wolves feast.
I don't think sleep will affect this thing.
It's pretty big gap.
Yeah. The level's
Yeah,
slightly
it's-
too high.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Max is
I'm tapped.
four hit dice, I think.
All right. Let's see here. So
Some of the wolves get hungry. We'll need that to discourage
Yeah.
them.
There you go.
if you're moving or firing a missile, do that now. If you're firing a missile, roll a d20 to hit. Add your dexterity bonus if you have one. If you're moving, go ahead and move your token. However, if you're firing a missile, there's a 50% chance you'll hit your allies. Because that's of note.
With as big even as this thing is?
Yeah, where you are. Yeah, they're like fighting amidst the snow, and it's like trying to tear Algar apart and looming over
good
them
point.
a whole bit. So, all right. So no movement and no ranged attacks. All right. So let's see. Next thing is melee combat and spells. The snakes and Algar and Flanagan are within melee range, and the mercenaries.
Does this thing
Okay.
qualify as a giant or goblin?
I will. No.
Okay.
We're on. I don't know if you want to roll 3d20s. In the target for the mercenaries. The target for this is ascending armor class 13.
Okay. Flanagan pulls out Dark Spear and gets right in close, like he did with that snake that we made the skins from, and just stabs right up at its throat. And probably misses with my description. And I miss.
We got light spear and dark spear going to town.
Yeah, Light Spear and Dark Spear.
Yeah, this holy spear of light pierces this thing's chest as you're thrown against the snow, and it looms over you, and it roars in pain. Let's see. And then the snakes. Did any of the snakes hit?
Let's see, I got 5 venomous going first. And the 4 non-venomous.
So he's going to make 2 saves versus death.
It's 18 and 17, yeah. I mean, if that does kill him, but...
These poisonous snakes, just swarm this thing and start gnawing into his arteries, and you see it like lumber over Algar, and kind of like it's about to tip over on top of Algar, and then just slump backwards into the snow dead.
Wow, nice.
And let's see here. And then there are close to 30 wolves here. I want that one. And a bunch of them leap toward its corpse to start trying to devour it.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, what do you all do? We're on. Or, I'm sorry, Cameron. Name's mixed up.
Yeah, I recommend us getting the hell out of here.
Well, that's what I would have said. So either way.
All right.
I mean, is there something strange about? Is there anything strange about these wolves?
Yes, there is. As you depart, Magnus, when you look out back, you can see a single wolf looking at you. It lowers its front body as if it is bowing to you.
Well, hold on a second now.
What? Magnus, you are so observant. I didn't even think of that. Such skill.
I sort of want to pet the danger puppy.
Yeah, I want to take a few steps back towards it and say good evening to you.
It looks at you with... this is a huge wolf, by the way. It's nearly as tall as you are, standing on its feet, clearly not a normal wolf. It looks at you with glowing yellow eyes, placidly.
Yeah.
It says nothing.
Well, I hope you're able to feast well, and please remember us as we move through here. We're friends to you, and hopefully you're friends to us.
It says nothing eventually, and it will continue to say nothing, but as you turn to leave, it simply watches you as you go.
Stupid.
Okay.
Every ally we can get, that's my feeling.
Yeah. I wonder if that was the wolf lady. Remember? I don't know. That's silly. People turn into wolves. Well, I don't know. I've seen enough to wonder.
Is it? Is it now?
It's hardly
Yeah.
the strangest thing we've seen.
Well, it is
No,
hardly
not.
the strangest, indeed.
But
Well, I'm turning into a fly. I mean, why would I be?
Well, let's hope not. Let's
You've
hope
you've
not.
gotten taller, if anything. I wouldn't say that you've turned into a fly. Flies are notorious for their being small.
Taller? How much
bit.
taller have I become?
I don't know, about a finger, about a finger's width.
Just go quiet and make a mental note to start measuring my height, just in case there's some other thing happening to me. I start marking the doorpost back in the lodge.
You
He's
arrive
psychic violent.
at the first tower. To the usual fanfare. Your friends in the log camp feed you. You don't have to use a ration for the first day or the second day. And the next day you awaken. Since you're in a tower, you don't have to worry about setting up a watch either. And I assume that you continue on, Cameron?
Yeah, if that's okay with everybody else.
Good.
Miraculously, you tromp through the snow for the remainder of the day, and encounter nothing as it becomes dusk very quickly once again. Make it with all speed. You probably. I would suggest this is probably using the forced march roll, but that won't matter because you make it to the tower. Make it to the tower. The Mouth of Doom is there, waiting for you the next day. You're able to rest at the tower, and you awaken the next day. No interruptions to your rest.
1 hit point regained.
Oh, well, you were wounded. I could have healed you.
You may need to. You cannot gain hit points out here.
Oh.
Yeah, how badly wounded are you?
I'm 5 hit points down, so a Cure Light wound would probably, almost certainly, either completely refill me or have nothing wasted.
Nice.
There you go.
So full heal?
Yeah. That could have been the night before, right?
That's good.
Back into the pit.
Yes.
Into the pit.
Once again, you crisscross back and forth up to the mountain. Can you guys see me? Is my internet going out?
I can see you. You're
I can see
moving.
you.
Yeah, you're good.
Got to roll 20.
Everything's been down for maintenance the last week, and so it may have something wrong with it too.
You know, I started using this site, I'm pretty sure, in 2014. And it had a few bugs. 2023, same bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what's going on my end. Yeah, no one else is getting kicked out of Roll20.
No.
No.
I have to relog into it.
I had to relog into it. That's what I've got going on.
Oh, maybe I did. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and reload and see if that works.
It's probably best everybody do that because it looks like it's
Okay.
making...
F5. Looks approximately the same. I only see myself, Bloombad, and Nick.
I'm watching the game now.
There's Jay.
I'm back in.
There's Chris.
Back in.
Are you in, Ross?
I am.
There's Cameron.
I regret that Foundry VTT so far does not have an original Dungeons and Dragons module, which is sad. They need to fix that. Somebody needs to get on that.
Quickly, since you have a sleep, I'm gonna go ahead and dump one of mine.
Okay.
What was I gonna say? Yes. So, you switch back the next day, or presumably early in the morning at first light. back and forth up the icy pathway to the onyx dark stone entrance in the shape of a demon's mouth. Icicles hang from it where moisture has tumbled down off the mountainside on the edges of the demonic stone mouth entrance. And you take the black steps down into the depths. Can someone please tell me where you're going and how to get there?
Okay, do you want to handle this or should I?
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay.
So we're going to level 3 to get to the teleporters. So at the entrance, we're taking the southern door with a star over it. Is that right? Yeah, with a star over it. And then the well-worn path to the east, and where there's a T intersection and a pit trap. And then we go south from there, about 60 or 70 feet. Then we go west, past a cave-in for about 70 or 80 feet. North for 30 feet. West for 50 feet. South for 60 feet past the old barracks. East 50 feet. South 50 feet into the green lit room with the braziers of green flame and the pillars. And then we slide under the secret door that we've left open into a low ceiling kind of crawl space into a larger room. We peek out carefully from underneath the statue of a skeleton with hands resting on wolves to each side. We look up above to make sure there's no leeches on the ceilings, which there always seems to be, and we can't get rid of them. And if it's safe, then we head down the stairs to level 3. And that's phase 1. Does that all go well, Ross?
Yeah, you do find some stairs that you travel down for some time. It feels like they go down and down. They eventually switch back. But, go ahead.
And then from there, I guess they come out into this oval room that was an old. There's murals on the walls, etc. And we take a door to the south, and then we head west for about 100 feet along a long passageway, and then we jog to the north, and then to the west, and then north along a long passageway, and there's blood in the hallway, etc. And we take the second entrance to the west, which leads into a room with tables, etc. in it, and a bas-relief, fat, leering face with goat horns on the wall that you have to pull yourself towards to get. That pushes us away. So we have ropes set up there, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have to like climb the rope and pull ourselves and drag ourselves into this to touch this thing on the wall that blaps us and teleports us into this other.
And I remember that the teleportation process is really alarming to onlookers because it looks a lot like you're just being vaporized.
Right.
I believe you explode into ash and are inhaled by the face.
That's right. You see people do that in front of you.
It's supposed to do that. Don't worry about it.
It means it's working.
Yeah.
Dark thoughts. All right. That's how I feel sometimes when, no, I will say it. Sometimes when in the modern age, somebody will say to me, trust the process. And it's like, no, I don't trust the process. No, I don't. Anyways, I assume everyone does trust the process. And you appear in a black, dark stone room. I'll describe it because I believe two of you haven't seen this before. Let's see. Oh. Weird. Wondering if Roll20 is going to cause problems. At a certain point, I'm just going to put a theater of the mind thing up and not worry about it. I'm not going to let that get in the way of the game. But
Where else?
so
I'm
far
seeing
it's
what
working.
the. Okay.
all of the walls, the floor, the ceiling are all perfectly black. Now, you can tell that unlike the stone steps that led down into this place, they have been painted black. And you can actually see chips of paint that have long gathered along the edges of the walls where they flake onto the floor. There are flakes. After you pull yourself toward the demonic mouth, the goat head, and you disappear and then reappear, you appear on a circular stone pedestal. It looks like the inner circle of the pedestal, it looks like it could rotate, and there are these flanges that stick up on the edge of it that connect on an outer panel that lines with other flanges. You can feel the stone panel slightly lift as you leave off of it, and you see your companions here in the dark. There are disgusting smelling corpses in the corner. You could see chalk drawings on the floor in places. There is some detritus and stone and cobwebs on places along the walls and the floor. And there is another stone pedestal with 4 flanges on the south wall. Cameron, some of them have been here before. They can probably explain to you how this place works, or you can, you guys can discuss your plans however you want to do it.
You want to explain this? Go ahead.
Yeah, I would rather someone explain it to me before making plans.
May I?
Yeah.
All right. Here's how this works, as best as we understand it. Each of these platforms here is a teleportation pad. Where it teleports you to is a function of which of the flanges it's set to point to when you step onto it. When you step onto it, you don't instantly appear at the destination, but you begin traveling through a place which is not a place. And while you are traveling, the teleporter will not function because it is already busy moving you to the new destination. So it takes about 20 minutes, as best as we can tell, based on some experiments we've made with candles, to travel from one spot to the next. And our usual protocol is to teleport, wait 20 minutes to allow anything in process or rather, we teleport together by holding hands and stepping onto the platform. And from our perspective, we reappear instantly, because we are asleep, we do not sense the time while we are in transit. So we hold hands, we point the pad to the correct destination, we hold hands, we step on the pad, we wait 20 minutes at our next destination, and then at the destination, we can repeat the process by pointing to the new pads. And at this point, I believe Algar would take out the map, which Jay has taken up, and pick up a candle and illustrate and try to explain it as best he can. Do you have the map open, Moss? Because if not, let me go ahead and post a link to it real quick. It should be the last map in Otherworld Adventures.
It's got like 10 sort of small rooms.
Yeah, super weird.
Okay.
Yeah, my
The one
it's the last one in the adventure.
is it the one letters?
Yeah.
Okay, I have it open now.
Okay.
It's really confusing. Flanagan apologizes for my notation. I'm doing my best. I barely know how to spell, so this is the best that I can do to try to organize how this all works.
Looks fantastic.
Okay, so we're trying to get to room 5, and we're in room 1.
Yeah.
I believe if we can jump here to teleport destination A.
Yeah.
Which is room 2, correct?
Yeah, A in. So A out in teleport 1 will get us to A in teleport room 2. I think that's the way to go. Yeah.
Okay. And then if we get onto the B, that'll take us to level area 3.
Or
But we
even
need
better,
No, we
We
need to
just-
get to. We need to jump to E out, or C or E in.
yeah. So the way I see it, we go just to quickly map it. I think we go from teleport room 1, A out,
Okay.
which goes to A in teleport room 2. If we
Mhm.
step on the same transporter on teleport room 2, it's C out, which goes to teleport room 4, C in.
Yep.
And then we step on the same one again in teleport room 4, which is E out, and that goes to E in, which is the statue room.
And then if we step on that thing again, that teleports us back to room 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many days and testing candles?
We had
three-
one very busy day.
Yeah, we had two intense sessions that were just like, yeah.
This is a strange magic I am not familiar with.
It was amazing.
All right, so what do you all do first, Cameron?
I think Cameron is away from the keyboard temporarily.
All right. So you guys were discussing it. Algar, where do you go first? You were talking about it before. The fun thing is, I don't actually, Nick. I don't look at your all's map.
So this could go wrong.
Yeah, I just look at my map. I don't look at your all's. Reference.
So, on the southern teleport plate, we make sure the flange is pointing due south.
All right. I will be honest with you. It has been a while. I don't remember what direction it's pointing, but I'm pretty sure. Let me look real quick. I'm pretty sure it is already pointing to the south. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Convenient.
Yeah. It should. I mean, if it hasn't moved, that's where it was last time.
All right. So you come up to the pad. It's pointing to the south. What do you do?
I believe we hold hands and step on together.
You hold hands and step on together?
Yeah, we form a ring around it, and then we all step onto the central pad at once.
Okay. Everybody holds hands, and you step onto the pad together, and then, Oron, you feel the pad lightly sink, and then all of a sudden, like you just disappear, and, let's see here.
Every time he starts talking, I'm terrified he's going to say, and then nothing happens. Once again, befuddling our ability to understand what the heck is going on.
Every time Ross describes it, I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna happen differently. You make it sound fresh every time you describe it. I'm like on the edge of my seat. You've done something wrong.
And that'll be linked to the calendar. Oh, this month it doesn't work.
Yeah. Please be the right room.
Do we have these rooms marked?
Yes, so I can't. The problem is I cannot remember exactly how I've marked them, so we're going to rediscover as we go.
And you step off of a pad, and in this long rectangular chamber, there's a bunch of rotten-smelling stuff that has grown, old spider webs that look like they could easily disintegrate. Another body in the corner. This place smells terrible. The floors, walls, and ceiling are all painted black. There are 2 pedestals in this room. There are phalanges that point this way, and I think 2 directions here. I'll look at it if you want me to later, give you the directions, and then there's a bunch of chalk scrawlings along the floor.
It looks like my scrawlings have become completely illegible with time. Perhaps someone has smeared them.
Yeah, what the heck is that?
I have no idea.
Why did you do that? What is that? What did you write there, Algar? Is that some secret language?
I don't know if I did write that.
I think it says Algar was here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's just extraordinarily poorly written. Hang on a second. Algar's just going to...
I don't know if he went to university. Wouldn't be too harsh on Algar.
All right.
He did not.
There we are.
All right, what do you all do next?
Charming young man, though. Charming young man.
So
Yes,
I
gun.
think we wait 20 minutes, right, Algar? Go
Uh-huh.
ahead. You call her.
Just set a
Okay.
set a timer with a couple of candles to wait 20 minutes, and then we'll repeat the process. But it looks like now in the map's okay. No, yeah, the map is correct. Is the flange pointing southeast or northeast?
Northwest.
So the pad that you're currently on points to the northwest. All the cardinal directions, Nick, are relative, right? So, you know, it's meaningless what direction it actually is. It's just,
Except that I drew a little compass in the floor, so we know which way we're talking about.
Right.
And
Gives
then
us some.
the southern pad point has a flange to the northeast and to the southeast, and it is currently pointing, I think, to the I think it's pointing. This is I apologize. I guess I need to note these, but I think it's pointing to the southeast, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, we've used it in both directions, so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But I think we want to go on the north one, right, Algar?
Let me check the map again.
See out is.
Okay. No,
Yeah,
see,
there's the north.
I don't know if you were gone, Cameron, but they had been talking about trying to navigate the teleporting pedestals, presumably to where these stone people are, and so they took the pedestal to the south, and they're in this new room, and now they're looking at where they had drawn chalk drawings on the floor, where the directions that these go in.
all right, you're correct. We do need to take the northern one. We actually have to move closer to the exit to get closer where we want to be.
Okay. So, if we hold hands and go on the north one, step on it again.
I think so.
All right.
Does that sound okay with you, Cameron?
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
And how many candles do you have? You said you were using candles.
Ah, God. They're not expensive, I think, but...
I have my holy symbol with a continual light on it also.
Oh, yeah. A candle is a penny, so, I don't know. I probably have 15.
Okay. All right. You can mark off candles as you go. It's going to take you for 20 minutes. It's going to burn down like maybe within 3 times. You know, so maybe within an hour of nonstop burning, it's going to burn you a candle or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. You wait 20 minutes. You hold hands, step on the pedestal, and you disappear.
So I was gonna bump it.
Where am I at now? There we are.
This T-shaped room does have some disgusting piles of former creatures. Insects have started to inhabit their body and eat them in from inside out. Made a cozy home here. You have a bunch of junk lying around in places where the walls have caved in, chips all along the floor where the paint is chipped off, and 2 other panels and other chalk drawings.
Okay.
Yeah, Cameron, what now? What do you think?
So, just Cameron, to help you interpret the map, it's a total puzzle. I think what we need to do is step back on the southern teleporter, which will go. If you look at the map, it says E out. And if we all hold hands, step on that southern teleporter, E out will lead us to E in, which is teleport room 5, which is where we want to be. But actually, if I can just say, do we want to do anything before we jump in there? There might be like a Medusa on the other side of this. Is there anything special we want to do before we jump on this?
Simply close your eyes and see if anything shrieks and attacks you.
I mean, we could do that. Like,
Have your mirrors ready, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Indeed.
Okay. Mirrors up. I'm gonna have my eyes closed, or look to the ground when we go through.
Right.
So you're gonna all try to hold hands, but also close your eyes and hold a mirror and step on a pedestal after 20 minutes and use a candle. Is that the
I will
whole-
hold-
Roll agility for that. I think I'm.
So
While balancing a candle on my
what
hat.
are those mechanisms called? The machines. that,
Rube
like,
Goldberg machine.
Yeah, of like magic medieval. Like, how do we keep from being turned to stone? This is what it's turned into here.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just barge in and hope we get lucky. That works for me about half the time.
It works about half the time. It's
I like that too.
it's worked for about 0% of the characters ultimately. Okay.
Can't all be immortal.
Indeed.
immortal.
Yeah. Well, I guess. I mean, Flanagan will hold hands. His mirror will be at a pouch or by his side, accessible. And he's going to be looking down when they go through.
Okay.
I'll keep my ears open. I'm going to spend those 20 minutes hauling those spider carcasses farther away from the teleporters. Those things are offensive to me.
Yuck.
Yeah. People have to come through here, don't they? Yeah.
Someone does.
Dungeon work to do.
It does seem like it's only us coming through here.
Maybe it's the dungeons off season.
Oh, that actually is a point I should warn Cameron. Sometimes in this place, our shadows have come alive and attacked us. If that happens, be wary. They aren't instantly lethal, but they are harmful. And they can only be struck down by magic. I can't remember. Cameron, did you get a magic weapon?
Let me look at my character sheet real quick.
Yeah, worth checking.
I think you might got a dagger, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I have a dagger, a short bow, and a spear.
Alright, you should be fine then. Wait, are any of those magical? Well,
I
they have a little plus.
Normal.
Okay. We probably need to get you a magic weapon then. Soonish.
Yeah. The map still hasn't loaded in for me yet.
I think he has. The nature of this room is such that he has to do a lot of obnoxious copy pasting of our tokens to move us around. There's no really good way in Roll20 or in Foundry to just teleport a token from one spot to another without passing through the intervening space.
Or you might be. Oh, that's true. Or you might be zoomed in on a black area.
Mm-hmm.
That's what mine was just now. Yeah.
But now I can. Okay.
Oh, roll and die.
All right. You blink and you're holding your mirrors and closing your eyes, and all of a sudden you appear somewhere else. This room is so large it goes beyond the edge of your lantern light. I will describe what you can see. It is a mostly barren, long room, as if it were some grand hallway in the past, or like a great hall. Not a hallway, a great hall. There are 10 statues of them, all of them extremely lifelike. 3 of them dressed in leather armor, carrying spears and backpacks. 4 clearly look like peasant rabble. 2 are right next to each other, carrying a big, heavy stone treasure chest with handles. It is also stone. The 8th statue is that of a mule carrying saddlebags. The 9th statue is a man dressed in a wizard's robe and wearing a pointed hat. And the 10th statue is a minstrel carrying a mandolin.
What direction are they facing? Towards the one of the pedestals or away? Can we tell if they were moving towards?
You can Oron, when you go up and you take a look at these statues, you notice a couple of things. One is that there are no scratch marks upon the floor. It's clear to you that these statues were they were statuified exactly where they were, or that, however, they didn't get dragged. Okay. Secondly, they seem to be oriented differently than how they're looking. Now, what I mean by that is, imagine that the wizard with the pointed hat is in the middle of a pose of speaking to someone like this, right? But he is oriented sort of equidistant, perfectly from the others, and he's pointed, speaking to no one. And the ones with spears are symmetrical to one another in a way that wouldn't actually lend themselves to being useful in combat. They seem to be pointed in arbitrary ways, not as they would be as if they were ready to face a foe.
Okay, so I have an odd thought. So if they were transformed into statues on the spot, their feet would fit very flush with the ground on which they step. Like the leather of their shoes would have transformed into stone while pressed against the tiles beneath them. And they would be a perfect fit. Because I assume the floor here is not perfectly even. I assume there's some irregularity.
Yeah, sorry, I was reading ahead a little bit. What are you're trying to see if it looks as if they have sunk into the tiles?
Sort of. My theory is that they might have been moved here or relocated from somewhere else, not dragged, but just picked up and moved around. But if that's true, but there's no drag marks. But if there's no drag marks and they were relocated, there would still be some evidence because their feet would not be conforming to the topology of the ground beneath them.
Right.
Like when you stand barefoot on ground, your feet squish a little bit to match the shape of the ground you're stepping on.
Maybe they would be a little wobbly.
Yeah, they might be a little wobbly.
So to speak.
Yeah, or at least there might be some air gap under their shoes in a way which indicates that they were their feet were molded to one floor and then picked up and moved to another floor that they weren't molded for.
Yes, I see what you mean, like green army men, right? Like if you took their bases off, like all of a sudden one of them would be like this. And you see this, in fact, when you look at one of the men with a leather vest and a spear, you can see that one of his feet is higher than the other, and his whole body is just cattywampus off, and there's no way he would have been standing like this normally.
Nice.
Oh, so they were moved here then. Some, at least.
Or teleported.
Oh boy. Well, go ahead.
I don't know how heavy are these things? I don't know how heavy a man-sized chunk of stone is. Because, I can pick up a guy, IRL, with difficulty. I don't think I can pick up... What's the ratio? How much does stone weigh compared to water?
I'm just going to say it's like half a ton. It's a few hundred pounds. Yeah. It's going to be hard to take a couple of y'all.
Yeah.
A rock like this, pounds.
Yeah, about 3 times as much as a person.
But the two statues holding the treasure chests on either side, do those make sense? Like they're holding it correctly? They seem like they are paired up.
Sorry, say that one more time. I promised this the last time I was looking. There's a bunch of details, so I was...
That's great.
There's a Medusa in the next teleporter. That's what's going on.
Right, yeah. The two men holding the treasure chest on either side.
Yeah.
They do pair up. So you have one spearman that's kind of lumpy, but the two men with the treasure chest, like their hands grip the handles of the treasure chest. Maybe they're facing the same direction. Do they both seem like they sync up together as two people carrying a chest?
They look like two stone statues that are perfectly lifelike, holding and in the moment of carrying a big stone treasure chest that looks perfectly lifelike. However, they are also both kind of cattywampus, and it looks like they were on slightly uneven terrain, and now they're on perfectly even terrain. and their feet do not line up with the surface of this floor perfectly. All of them do look a little off.
It almost seems like they got caught leaving something. They thought they got something, and either a trap was sprung or something turned them to stone. On the way out,
I'm getting
or off
flashbacks.
guard.
I'm getting flashbacks of that treasure chest in the middle of the woods. The fake one with the turn to stone scrolls. I wonder what happens to people after they lift those scrolls up and where they go.
Good question. I'm sure there's a lot of places they can go, and this might be one of them.
Anyway. Well, what now, Cameron? Shall we turn one back to flesh now, or do some more investigating of this chamber? Or
I think we should.
Ask one more question. You've all traveled, these hallways and these rooms before. Is there a way to get a donkey in here? There was one room where we had to crawl down and go under a secret door we opened. There's a donkey in here, a pack mule. Is there any way that was possible through?
I think it's
the
safe. It's probably safe to say that whatever route these folk took here, it's not the same route we took.
Okay.
But that's just my thought.
Yeah. We should turn one of the statues back into flesh.
Do it.
All right, which statue do you think you want to turn to flesh?
Like we said before, one of the ones with the chest.
I have a thought. I wonder if we should. I mean, this is crazy.
Yes, two of you
Maybe
strong
we're
gentlemen
thinking
should get under the chest before we do this.
Yeah, or hold a rope and prop up the other one, because this guy's going to come back and be like crushed under the chest, and the other guy's going to go and just break his back or something. If he's not
That's a good concern.
Yes.
I'm not terrifically strong, but I'll lend my back to the effort.
All right.
I could help him with that too.
It might be a good idea to do the minstrel first.
True enough. I mean, the more I think about it, the more I think, oh, well, you know what? While we're here, these three spearmen, are they of a piece with each other? Are they dressed the same, or do they have the same kind of gear?
They do look like they were geared the same, except for the one with the pointy hat and robes and minstrel. And
okay, but
the
so there's four peasant rabble.
Yeah.
Magnus, you have 3 uses and that's it, or is this a spell that you can?
I have 6 uses
Okay.
remaining of this stone rod here.
Okay. All right.
I'm not at all sure I want to spend all of them on a bunch of peasant rabble. You'll forgive my callousness.
Completely understand.
Well, what's your thinking with the minstrel?
Well, I mean, they're willing to talk a lot.
Right.
I suppose from the minstrel we could at least find out whether or not everyone here knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
We should gag him first. I'll tear up my small sack and I'll bind his mouth just in case he's some type of spellcaster.
Okay, so Cameron, let me put it all together here. Sounds like Mother Bloombat's going to bind the minstrel, and then Magnus is going to use his stone to flesh wand to turn the minstrel to flesh. Is that right?
It seems like it.
Since you're the group caller tonight, would you like to do the honors of the system shock roll for this person?
Oh. What does that mean?
All right. Forgot about that.
I mean, I can.
So it's a D100, and for this person you need to get a 75 or less.
Oh man, they just have a heart attack. That's gonna be so fun.
1D100?
Yeah, it's or 2D10. So I think there's a D100 option on here. 1D100.
There is.
11.
Yay.
Right? Yeah, 11. Okay, so Magnus, you apply the wand, and you see it happen gradually, like from head to toe, and all of a sudden this person, who are you? Where am I? And he just like looks around, terrified.
Calm yourself, friend.
Calm myself? What do you mean? This place is horrid.
True enough, but you're safe with us for now.
Oh my!
Sorry, go ahead.
We
But
had
they're travelers.
Wait, what did you say? Say that again.
I said we are nothing but mere travelers.
Oh, who would travel in a place such as this? What do you wish of me?
Do you know where you are?
No. Who are you?
allow us to introduce ourselves as gentlemen. I am Algar Dexton. May I have your name, sir?
Oh, well, yes, oh. Well, fancy that. I don't know it.
You have been through a tremendous trial. Perhaps your recollection will return in time. We are the Knights of the... What's the name of our thing again? The Hounds of the Pine.
Citizen character.
No, absolutely not.
That's great.
Honestly, mood. We're the Hounds of the Pine. I'm Algar. This is my comrade Cameron. This is Flanagan. This is Oren. This is Magnus. And this is Father Bloombad, fellow travelers under the light. We are exploring the underworld, and we found you and your comrades, or who we believe to be your comrades, ensorcelled and transformed to stone by unknown magic. By good fortune, we had the capacity to restore you to flesh, and wishing to save you from your circumstance and also to share in your bounty, I say, gesturing towards the treasure chest, we thought we would do what we could to return to good health.
He's shaking and holding himself, and he looks over at everyone else. He's like, "Oh, some magic! I was turned into stone. I don't know these people. Do you know a way out of this place?"
We do. We shall take it soon. But first we have to rescue who else we can.
Thank the light.
Well, listen, fella. Do you remember anything? Do you know where you come from? Do you remember your mom and your dad or anything like that?
Well, no. I can't remember anything.
But you are who you are. Hold on to that. Where you stand is where you stand.
Well, you're carrying on it.
Every land and every moment you have is a foundation upon which to build a future. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope.
Well, you seem to be carrying an instrument. Is he carrying a mandolin, you said?
Yeah. He's just holding it. He doesn't know what to do with it. He's
play it. Play us a happy tune. Why don't you? Cheer us all up.
Okay. And he plays an old, medieval ditty flawlessly. He's like, well, at least I have that.
Do we recognize the tune?
Yeah, it's definitely old. It is like a thing of the courts of Arthur from ancient times.
So we do, but okay. So he's not. Okay. Like not to get too musicology on you here. What vintage? Is it something that would be current to Oren, or would it be old to him too?
No, that's right, Oren. You recognize this tune. It is of your time and fashionable for that era and of this area. The south of where are we? Up in the boonies. It's the far north of England right now.
Northumbria.
Farther north than that, I think. No, not modern times, ancient times. 800 AD, 750. Gosh, I can't think of it. It's
I mean, Northumbria is the northern Saxon kingdom, but if you're talking about the British time, but that's the area.
I can't think of it. But anyways, the kingdom, you know, the group of the Pictland.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to think of. South of that, I should say. That is to say, civilized people. Okay, you know, which probably Orin is. Although, Orin, you're not familiar with Magnus unless he tells you, you know, more about it. But he's not from here. But anyways, this is a tune of the Kingdom of Albion. This is a thing fashionable from Orin's time.
So we have that. I tell him to look through his bag, look through your satchel. What do you have on you that would remind you of anything? Do you have any letters or messages, any orders?
This is fun, and I hope you all don't mind me indulging in this, but we have somewhat of an expert in this. Father Chris, what would a traveling bard at this time, what would they carry around in their purse other than coin and I don't know what else?
Oh, Lord. Of that time?
Say
Yeah,
magic
this would
weapons.
be like this would be ancient Dark Age Britain. You know, this would be 600 AD, I suppose. So him, I mean,
I suppose.
Would he have letters?
Honestly,
Probably not, right? He would not.
No, I mean that's why I asked what time. Like that time,
600
he's got
AD,
if he's got his instrument and he's got his personal knowledge of music. You
Right.
know, like
Yeah.
which is like learned, you know, in very specific places, and
Yeah, it makes sense
it's
to
his
me.
stock in trade.
Yeah, he has some bric-a-brac in his coin purse. He looks distressed as he sees little items of, you know, obvious personal value, little carvings and religious objects and various things that people would have that are travelers. Some of them are clearly like little blessings, little statuaries and things that you would carry to way shrines because he's a traveler. But apart from that, there are things of personal significance that hold currently no significance to him. It distresses him only more.
We'll have you looked at, friend. You keep on playing. What to do next?
Did we already ask if he knew anybody in this room?
Yeah,
no.
he said he
I
didn't
don't believe you.
recognize anybody in the room. Now, it's also immediately apparent as he plays music that it is very loud and tinny in this place and echoes off the walls as soon as he plays it.
Well, there's no doors.
That
There's no doors out of here.
Yeah, under the circumstances, it's one of the few places in the dungeon where you can be as loud as you want.
Or not.
Right.
Does it echo? Does sound travel through the portals in some way? That'd be interesting.
No, I think God is just cruel.
Well, if something happens, I'd rather be able to hear it. I mean, that's beautiful music, but something creeps up behind us. Well, I mean,
Good old Flanagan. Way to cheer the man up.
well, I'm not here to cheer anybody up. Get something straight. I'm here to keep us alive.
Who would have thought I would have been giving you a lecture on cheering people up?
Well,
Maybe he
I
should,
hope that to a person
take-
doesn't. Well, what do you think? The chest? I mean, the chest and the wizard seem like the lucrative ones. Oh, and the mule, in my mind.
The mule, yes.
If we knew
The
what
mule-
to do.
The mule is not going to be successfully returned from this location. It's not
Why
going
do
to be
you-
able to cooperate with us as we do the teleport thing.
I'm not thinking about the mule itself. I'm thinking about the saddlebags, maybe.
It's true.
Yeah.
And if we get lucky, well, anyway.
Do they look full? Do the saddlebags look
Yes.
bulging? They're bulging saddlebags?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking the chest, the wizard, and the saddlebag, and the mule. That would be my bet.
Agree.
Maybe a mule first, because it's the least likely to...
All right, Cameron, which one do you want to go for first? Do you want to do one of the people carrying the chest, or do you want to do the mule?
Or the wizard, I guess.
Probably the one of the people carrying the chest, if that's okay with everybody else.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally.
So let me make sure I understand it. Magnus is going to go up to one of the people carrying the chest, going to cast stone to flesh using the wand. Is that right?
If we're going to do that, we should prepare to do the next one right away, because that chest, assuming the chest doesn't turn back to a chest when the first one is unstoned.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to do both. Is that right?
We might want to try and ease them into a position where they're not holding up the chest upright. If we can get them tilted onto their sides so that the transformation does not drop the weight of the chest on them, so that the weight of the chest is resting on the ground,
Yeah.
that would be much safer.
So you want to just like tilt them back onto the ground like that, just like okay.
Yeah, like on
But
their
I'm not sure
sides
if
or whatever.
we have the strength to do that between us.
Yeah,
I'm sure we do all
everybody
together.
works together. You slowly tilt all these people back onto their backs, and then Magnus, you turn one of them to stone. Cameron, would you like to do the honors? Actually, let me roll something really quick. Curious about one of these persons.
And I'll be casting Detect Evil as well.
Ah, okay. You cast Detect Evil. Even as stone, you detect pure hearts among these people.
Ooh, that's cool.
Nice.
Amongst all of them, all of the ones that, or just these ones carrying the chest.
When I say pure hearts, I don't mean like these are like saints or something. But
All
they're-
heroes, yeah.
Yeah, but you do sense some myriad light from the hearts of these people. I'll just leave it at that. But anyways, Cameron, could you roll for System Shock, please? A D100 to get under 75% twice, I assume.
And we've got a couple folks stationed. Oh no, that's right. They're on the ground. Never mind. Okay.
53 passes. And one more.
Ooh, my goodness.
You, all right, Magnus, they, from head to toe, turn back to flesh as well, and they just start screaming, and they start pointing at each other and scrambling to their feet, and they just start freaking out.
Calm yourselves, calm yourselves. Let's be grown-ups about this.
And then one of them promptly goes into a corner, urinates himself, and starts weeping, and rocking back and forth.
Some to breathe.
Someone nicer than me take this over, would you?
On it. Hey, piss buddy, how you doing?
You just hear
Not so
like,
great?
Yeah, like
These are supposed to be adventurers? I mean, come on.
these
They're clearly hirelings, man.
whimpering,
Yeah.
quivering squeals from this person and sobs, and that's what you get from them.
How's the other?
person
Oh,
is
I just hug
screaming,
him.
pointing.
This poor bastard.
Aw.
should have brought Rex with me after all.
Well, what about the
PTSD.
Therapy dog.
Therapy dog.
Dungeon therapy dog. You should put a little vest on him. Hit me. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Well,
Did the chest turn back to
Yes.
out of stone?
And
Okay.
because they were laying and you did that, the lid just goes, and it just opens, and hundreds of gold coins just spill out of it.
There we go.
That's ours.
Yeah.
519 gold pieces.
Oh,
spill
that's
out
not
on the
enough.
floor.
Okay.
And these two puddles of goo, they have nothing to say. If we go through the same, be it calm, we're friends, you're safe here for the
Yeah.
moment.
One of them eventually, he's like, "This is some sort of trick. It's some sort of trick you're putting on me. You're a witch. You're a witch, y'all." And like he's just like freaking out and accusing you and getting real aggressive, backing away from you all. The other one's whimpering and crying, and Algar's consoling him. This is all taking time.
I suppose we should turn to the pointy hat.
Yeah, if they think I did it, then they have no idea how they got turned to stone. So no point even asking.
Well, perhaps.
I'll gag the wizard just in case he's in the middle of a spell.
Okay. Cameron, you're all going to go for the wizard. Is that right? Okay. Could you make a system shock check, please?
It's a D100, right?
That's right.
Yep.
To get under a 75. 18. All right. Yeah, it does. And he slumps forward. Oh. I have no memory of this place. Where am I? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's perfect.
I quit. I'm fired.
No, that was good.
It was all led up to this. It was all in vain. The quest has failed.
Yeah, and of
All right,
course,
well.
he's a doddering old man full of magical secrets locked behind a complete memory loss.
Deeply unfortunate.
So you got anything on him?
Stolen their memory. I have mine. I still remember magic. I mean,
Right.
it could be something separate, but what are the odds so many of us were turned to stone from the same period?
I wrote this down long ago now. But I have it written here. Let me find my list here. Just a second. When he is turned to flesh, your initial suspicions, this is a strange place, okay, we're on, despite all the strange things you have seen. You have seen masters of the arcane, and you both know, Oron and Magnus, that these magical powers, these secrets of the other, they're passed down from master to student in secrecy and esotericism. Okay, so this is how you both have learned your magic secrets. Okay, when you encounter another person like this in this situation, it probably doesn't seem too surprising. But when he turns to flesh, something very surprising happens. This was part of the vanguard of the Army of the Light on some mission unknown. You know that because this is your master. His name is Giliosa the Grand.
Wow.
Goodness gracious.
Your master.
Maybe my memory's not as good as I thought it was.
Yeah, well, what I mean is, it was not apparent until he came to life.
Yeah.
You are in a dark room and poking around and looking at strange stone things and all this weird stuff and everything. And, he has no memory of you, but you separated on not very good terms.
Your master. Your name is Gilios the Grand. I am your student. Do you remember me?
I don't know. I have no memory of this Giliosa the Grand.
Do you remember your quest? Do you remember how you came to this place?
Quest. No memory of a quest. I am tired, though. Could you point me the way out of here? I would like something to eat and drink. It does not seem like a good place for me to be right now.
Well, I tell leaving without us is not the best option at this point, but I can give you some of my food and my drink.
Oh, you're so kind. Oh, thank you.
Please, Master, sit down.
Yes.
I'll help him down. and give him some of my ration.
He hikes up his wizard robes and reveals his his hairy. This is a weird motif that comes up more often than should. But yeah, he's got like hairy ankles. And he
Okay.
snacks.
Thanks for that detail, Ross.
It's something about wizards. I don't know.
I mean,
Hairy
I'm wearing trousers.
It's
I don't know
come up
about I don't know about these
it's
guys.
come
I'm
up-
wearing
It's
trousers.
come up 3 or 4 times, which is not a lot, but it's still a weird amount. So
That's how we had a
Uh,
falling out. I'm rebellious and I shave my ankles.
there it is. It's
He took that as a sign of disrespect. He doesn't understand me. And so I moved out. He was like, "You're not going to have shaved ankles in this house.
No wonder
And
he
I said-
threw you out.
I'll go stay with Travis."
You're just being weird. Young people.
You don't get me, Gilios.
Kids with their
It
hula
happens.
hoops,
Oh, you freaking guys.
long pointy-toed
my
shoes. What's next?
Well, this is good treasure for me. Because the issues we had, I'm sure, after a couple hundred years, we can work through.
Well, that's incredible. Well, that says something. You don't remember how you turned to stone though, do you?
I don't know. I don't know how I I went to use the restroom, and then I found you guys with a gag in my mouth.
All right.
Which has happened more than once in my life, but this time I have no idea how.
I don't want to hear the other story.
Is it good?
So,
It's a
listen.
lawful aligned adventuring group, and
I
don't
know
need to
that
hear such
we-
things.
I know that the mule and there's all these poor, homely wastrels here. I've only got 2 uses of this precious item remaining.
Well,
I'm not sure I wish to spend them on either a mule or a peasant.
those saddlebags are bulging. I mean,
Bulging with
it's not rations.
I'll tell you what you see here left. Okay, you have 2 more peasants that have poles and lanterns and backpacks, and you have 4 what are clearly adventurers with equipment and gear and armor and weapons. 2 of them with spears, one of them with sword and shield, another with 2 long knives at either side of a belt, cloaks, etc., etc. And then you have the mule that has saddlebags. So that's what you have left.
I feel like any of them could have some kind of valuables on them. I feel like the mule. I don't know. I think it'd be a real shame not to. Then there's one left. I mean, then there's one charge left. Or here's another thought: whatever turn these things to stone might be through this next teleporter down below. Maybe we should go through that first. See if 2 of us turn to stone, then we got two charges left for it. Or we just don't go through that. I don't know.
Yeah, we've never been through that. We've never been through that one.
No.
So is this as far? I see a couple other rooms on the map, but this is basically as far as we've come. Looks like there's a couple other portals that we haven't used yet.
Right.
Is that right?
There's a ton that we haven't used because you can switch the different things. There's a ton of different, but we've not taken the southern teleporter from this room. I mean, this is a strongly signifying the possibility of danger through that teleporter. But I don't know. What do y'all think? I mean, my vote would be to do the mule or to go through that teleporter first with 2 charges left just in case we get turned to stone.
I would go through the portal first, just in case, as a just in case thing, and to save those 2 chargers in case the 2 of the group do turn into stone.
Do we drag these other 4 with us, or just stay here to watch over them, or do we just leave them to their own fates? I don't believe they know how to work these dials.
Oh God.
we leave them here, of course.
two of us should go through the portal, and then while the rest of the group keeps an eye on the people that we turned from stone flesh.
The only thing is that coming back, what we've learned is we may not come back the same way. Like you might take a teleporter,
Right.
and for all you could even end up in a different land. We don't know.
This could be a one-way ticket, one-way portal.
Yeah.
And who knows when we'll come back around.
Yeah.
We, well, yeah, I fear we dare not split up. And these we leave them with some rations, and they'll be safe enough. A couple candles.
I'm gonna die. The three, but I don't want to leave my master.
I'm also not comfortable leaving these people to their fates here. This is a very dangerous place. If one of their shadows should animate, there is nothing here that could protect them from death. And I say this in a firm whisper, so they don't overhear. We cannot afford to we cannot simply park them and trust that they will be safe until we return. It's gambling with their lives. We've already spent so much to restore them to life. We can't gamble it so lightly. If you don't want to use the other charges, that's sensible. But we have non-combatants who we need to bring to safety.
Well, if we need to bring them to safety, then the only course, if we are committed to that, the only course then is to lead them back the way we came and be gone from this place. Because how dare we, if we care about their safety, go through a portal with them with us? But then how can we, in safety, send merely one or two of us ahead, not knowing what's on the other side? When it takes 20 minutes, we won't even know for more than half an hour from now whether they were safe. Right. Anyway, there's obviously risks no matter what we do, but I've got cold sweats thinking about it. It's not that I'm heartless.
Well, I just can't stop thinking about that mule and those bulging saddlebags. I mean, if we're gonna go, it's true that if we go forward, we're not saving these charges for something in the next room, because we're not coming. Well, I mean, one day we're gonna regret not having two charges. That's for sure. One day we're gonna wish that we had that extra charge, but we're here right now, and we might not ever come back here again. I feel like it's. I think it's worth trying.
Well, this is a situation where it's down to the caller, I think.
Ooh,
I mean, I don't actually want to hand my use of the charges to another person, but not the last two at this point. But in terms of what to do next, whether to go forward or
yeah, let's do, and I feel like that's valid. That's fine. So if you want to hang on to the charges, I'd like to let Magnus make that decision. That seems
yeah, for sure.
But yes. Cameron, you have two choices, and now it's come to this. You pick one. One is, it seems like the best. Correct me if I misheard this, but the prudent option is go forward, but bring everyone, so people aren't left behind, or just leave the dungeon now with everyone.
I mean, you can ask our thoughts. You don't have to. This isn't like.
Yeah.
This isn't your burden to bear alone.
Yeah, you can just ask for a vote or whatever.
You can and should annoy us with questions.
So sure. I mean, what does everybody else think?
I'm sorry, but what does Father Bloombad think? What do you think? I didn't hear from you.
Well, I'll go with a majority decision, but I would like to do is I would like to take my mace and tap the saddlebags on the mule.
You take and tap the saddlebag with a mule, and you discover that had you done this with the chest, you would have shattered it. You could probably do this to a person and kill them. They're stone, and so you shatter just one of the saddlebags, and almost like the petrified remains of things, and it makes me think of like Pompeii, where it's petrified and encased. In terms of how it's, ash. You can see on the inside that this is just stuff is what's inside here. Food, rations, some supplies. These are supplies. This is not treasure. So.
Oof. Well, that eases my mind.
Good call, then. Good call.
What are your thoughts, Bloom Bad, on going forward or back, or other thoughts? Oh, you don't care.
I'll just go with
right?
I'll go with majority opinion.
I vote go forward. I mean, explore. Bring them all with us where we can find our way out.
Okay, shall we then just put it to a vote? We got one Flanagan for going forward. Bring everybody forward.
That's one for me.
I'm for going back.
Okay, 2 forward, 1 back.
Forward.
3 forward. I think that means, let's see. I think that means the forwards carry it unless
you two say back.
Exactly. So, I'm not going to argue seriously one way or the other. I'm definitely in favor of going forward if it was just Magnus deciding. So, in that case, we'll just have to, I guess, everybody cram together, get cozy.
You are able to do that, and you all get real close. You probably have to double stack with a person behind you or a person in front of you, and then holding hands, and then step kind of 2 layers deep on together, and then get real close.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, is there more than one flange on this portal?
There is more than one flange, and it is currently pointed this way.
So it's pointed northeast?
Yeah, so if you stepped on it right now, that's where it's currently pointed, and that's where you've been before.
I thought we hadn't been through this portal before.
And then there's another flange that goes this way.
Are you talking about the southern teleporter from this room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever used it. Okay. And there's one that goes... I thought there's just one that goes to the southeast, no?
Yeah, you do have... you have used this teleporter before. The north teleporter does not have any flanges.
Right. Okay.
The southern teleporter has 2. One of them goes to the southeast, and one of them goes like to the east, and one to the southeast. I mean, you may have it marked. You may have it marked as south and southeast, but this is where our metaphor about cardinal directions is starting to break down a little bit.
Yeah, I had only marked one which was to the southeast, and that it was on the southeast. That's fine.
There is one to the southeast, and it is on the southeast, and then there's one in relation to that. There's one to the south that it's not on.
Yeah.
And you have been to the southeast one.
Okay, shoot, because I never marked where that goes. If we have. Okay, what I had thought that we had done from this room is we took the same one and went back out. But so this to me is a guess. Then, if you, Ross, if you're saying that we've been on this, I don't.
If we made the mistake, it may have just been my mistake. You may have used the north one to get out, and if that's the case, that is a mistake. But either way, it did not go out anywhere except to the southeast. It's either south and southeast, or southeast and east. This is where this metaphor about directions is kind of breaking down, because there's not an actual south.
If you pretend north is up,
I'll just draw it. One... It goes like this.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you could probably see it if you zoom in.
I just see one on there.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe I had that wrong, so I apologize. Here you go. I'll just draw it this time. It goes this way. Whoops, it's not even letting me draw. I'm sorry, that's frustrating. It goes like this. Come on, roll 20, please. Just there you go. And then like this.
Okay. All right. And you're saying that we did take it before, and that's what got us out of here last time?
Yes.
Okay.
But it didn't go back the way you came, and that was actually one of the things last time. You're like, oh god, this doesn't go back the way we came, and then you had to like take a bunch around,
Right. Okay.
Up to room 3.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna write. I'm just gonna change that down and say that B from on teleport room 5. I'm just gonna adjust this. I think. So what I'm hearing then is, if we're gonna go somewhere we've never gone before, we have to turn turn this one to the south and go that way, and that would be the way we've never gone before. Is that what we're gonna do?
That's fine, man.
That's fine with me.
So, go ahead.
Perhaps we should take the spell book off of the wizard just in case something would happen to him. We wouldn't want that spell book falling into evil hands.
That's a good point. Master, let me.
I don't know why you called me that. Well, yes, young man.
Let me carry your wares for you. Let me lighten your burden.
Oh, such a gentleman. Oh, thank you.
He hands it all over to you.
Swell guy. Okay. Or copying, instantly writing.
All right. So, what do you all do at the pedestal? At the pedestal.
Cameron, if you're okay, if you agree with this, I think what we have to do is turn the southern pedestal, turn the thing to the south, and then I'll go on it.
That's good with me.
Okay.
Okay. All right. It takes you all, like, you have to wiggle it and then lift it up and then rotate it around until the flanges to the south align, and then it sets down into the flange and like into a slot, and then you all step up together and it sinks and you disappear.
Oh, Lord.
Algar, roll a d6,
Oh
please.
my god.
I don't like the sound of this. 1 sec. Here's my device. 5! Not a 1. Not even a 2.
Algar, outside you hear at first a bubbling sound, and then like somewhere beyond this cave, echoing into the walls as you come into this cave. You hear like a bubbling, and then you hear a low gurgling roar, like something like this.
That's big enough to eat me. That sounds big enough to put me in its mouth.
That's what she said.
Yikes.
No! You quit that! I'm talking about mortal peril here!
Oops.
You save that for later!
My bad.
There's only one phalange, and it points east on this. You are in a cavern, a very tight one, a small cavern space, and it exits here. And then you have this pad, and that's it.
What do you think, Cameron? Jump on the pad or check the cave to the south?
I personally would check the cave out.
Let's do it.
Are those bodies there? Or those are our those are our new friends, new companions.
Those are your new companions, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so checking the outside of the cave. All right.
I'll take point on this.
You see a cavernous underground lake, and you can see the shore. You can't really see it. I'm going to kind of move you so you can see around. At the edge of your lantern light, there's a shore, and the water here is perfectly crystal clear. And from this crystal clear water, Algar, you can see something moving at the edge of your lantern light coming towards you.
I gesture urgently back towards the entrance of the cave. Something very large is coming.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right,
There are ledges. Go ahead. I was just going to ask if it looks like there are ledges on the other side of the lake there, hey? Like, it seemed like there was places you could stand.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You go
What
back to
direction was?
Sorry, go ahead.
What direction were the noises coming? Was the noise coming from?
I was trying to ping it, but it wasn't working. So I'll bring you back here, and then I'll ping it and see if it works. They were coming from here at the edge of your lantern lights, because my
Okay.
ping is the same color. I'm going to make my ping bright so it's easier to see.
Coming from the water? Was it like a wet noise? Like a
Yeah,
the
a
same
bubbling,
gurgling?
roaring noise from the water. Anyways, as Cameron said, you return to the pedestal. What do you do when you get to the pedestal?
Can try to find our way back out of the cave. If that's okay with us.
Yeah, it's in the past we've been able to step on the same pedestal, and it'll teleport us somewhere else. So that might be, if we're not going to go to the water, this might be the only. I mean, or secret doors, I suppose. Maybe there's.
Don't we wish for a glimpse at least of what we're dealing with?
Well, let's start with this. Cameron is saying, find your way out. Do you step on the pedestal?
I'm kind of curious of what the sound was, but I'm too nervous to go check it out.
All right, step on the pedestal. You step on the pedestal, it sinks, nothing happens.
We got 20 minutes.
Okay.
20 minutes. We got 20 minutes.
My God.
Oh, right. We got to wait 20 minutes. That's right.
Yeah.
That is
While
when you
we
hear-
wait for- you should probably go check that noise out if that's okay with everybody else.
It looks like it's about to come to us. What was that thing you said, Ross?
I said that's when you hear the rocks shaking off the cave walls nearby as something slams into the cave entrance.
Okay. So do we wait? What do you all think?
I think our thief should sneak around the corner and go see what it is.
I
Or
mean,
maybe
I
our ranger who's great with animals and whatnot, tracking.
I actually have no benefits at all for working with
to
animals.
make things
just to be
worse,
clear.
you all have a matter of minutes to escape this dungeon. You have to make a decision quick about what you're going to do.
I mean,
There's
I can sneak around and go check what it is.
I mean, there's nowhere we can go for a few more minutes until the teleporter's back up, right?
Yeah.
We're in a corner.
All right, so Cameron, to sneak, you would need to hide in shadows. Move silently is what we'll do. You have a 30% chance of success, and you can do a dexterity check. It's usually how I do it with thieves, so in this type of situation, this would not be a pure move silently situation. It's just to not get seen by whatever this is. So D100 to get a 30 or less, and a D20 to get over your saving throw number.
So 1D100 and 1D20.
That's right.
100.
That didn't work. You gotta get a D20 and you gotta get over a 12. You got a dexterity bonus, nat 20. Okay. So you are able to sneak up and see what this thing is. I assume you have to have your own light. You're gonna have to light a torch. And the cavern walls shake as it's pretty clear what this thing is where you are. There is an absolutely gigantic megacorporations. Now you all will not be able to see this yet, but
Oh my gosh.
We'll just hear Cameron screaming. That'll tell us what it is.
It's some sort of serpentine creature that stands about 40 feet tall. It has 5 snake-like heads that sprout out of its body in multiple directions. All right, let's see.
The frickin' serpent dispenser.
It is going to start tearing down the cavern walls as it starts making its way in.
What about is its body blocking the entrance completely
Yeah, it's
at the moment?
literally just like tearing it apart. Like it's just tearing open
Well,
this
but
thing like
okay. Let
box.
me ask a more specific question. If it was turned to stone, would it be blocking the entrance?
No.
Now, before we spoke of, I don't remember if there. I mean, you didn't really give, and the book doesn't really give a size limit, does it? But you have an internal one that you're sort of being quiet about. I can't remember.
No, I can't find the spell. Can anybody remember what the spell's called?
Flesh to stone, I think.
Well, it's stone to flesh is the way it's described in the book, I think, and then
It's either stone to flesh or flesh to stone. I'll check flesh to stone. You check stone to flesh.
In AD&D, it's called. Oh, there it is. Level 6 spell, stone to flesh.
It's just a saving throw.
It says it doesn't say, so you know my policy. If it doesn't say, we just do that.
Yeah.
You must act quickly. We're running out of time.
Might as well try.
Okay, so you're gonna go.
If
forward
everybody's
and try
okay, well, I mean, I'm gonna peek. By go forward, I'm not. I'm gonna peek exactly as far as.
Well, here's.
I stride boldly out onto the pier.
Yes, you. This is what it comes down to. It is bold. Basically, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then you'll enter initiative and see if this thing can act. Is that what you want to do?
It's what I want to do.
All right.
If I mean, I'm gonna suggest that. Yeah.
You know what? I'll stand in front of. I'll go out and stand in front of our good friend Magnus. So if it's
Same.
gonna hit me, it's gonna hit me.
Same. This is my job. I am the meat shield.
Here we go. You're able, using the scouting of Cameron, you're able to know before this thing can act, and you turn just around the corner and raise your wand, and let's see if I can pass the saving throw for this thing. I'm going to state its saving throw target out loud. It is a 5-headed hydra. It has a saving throw of, let me find it here, 12. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Passes. Alright. Cameron, roll for initiative, please.
That is a D6, right?
As a D6. House wins.
Sweet.
Spells.
I'm gonna try it. Last charge one more time.
Alright. And then Father Bloombad and Warren.
Fix the snake.
Alright, you get your snakes, okay.
Yeah.
Drop a sleep on it. Like, you're not gonna get the whole thing, but you might get one of the heads.
Maybe I can
Good point. Good point.
make it groggy.
That's a good
Yeah, I gotta do something. Sleep.
Okay. Let's see. So I assume everybody gets into a position where they can act at least. And then let's see. The next thing is. Oh, go ahead.
Is there space for missile weapons? Sorry. Is there space for missile weapons?
Sure. Yeah, I'll say that you can fire missile weapons into this thing. Movement and missile fire. Everybody moves into position. Anyone firing missiles can do that now. That includes Cameron. If you want to use your bow, you can do that now. You can fire twice. Anybody else wants to, including, I don't know if you're going to cast a spell, Warren, but if you're not, you can use your darts. These things. Your target number is 14. So
I'm gonna do
damage.
sleep on the heads. How many heads did you say it was? 4?
5.
5 heads. I'll see if I can knock at least one of them out.
Alright, right. Any other hits? Cameron, Oren.
What's the?
It's a D20. You can roll a D20 twice. All right, one more. Dang. Okay, and then
Lock and hit for 4.
lock and hit for 4. Okay. Let's see. 16, 4, 8. Okay. So, and you put one of the hits to sleep. So there you
Yes.
go.
Cool.
It's got 4 hits that can act now. However, it can those hits up. That's the ranged attacks. It has none. And melee combat and spells, melee attacks. You can go ahead and make your melee attacks.
Dark Spear.
I'm not hitting anything.
I'm gonna make
I might have hit. I hit.
morale checks for your allies.
I hit armor class 16. Does that hit?
Plus, that does hit.
Okay. By the way, I have to go raid at 8:30. So
Oh no.
it's, yeah,
All right.
I did 5 damage. I mean, I could probably wait a couple minutes, but someone's gonna knock on my door
I got you.
in a few minutes here.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You stab it for 5 damage. You hit one of the heads. It screams. That 2d8 is the snakes or the damage? The snakes.
Snakes.
Snakes. Gotcha. And
Maximum snakes.
all right. Go ahead and all right. I'll roll. For the
Can they be
wand.
water moccasins?
A 2. It is turned into stone.
Yes.
Oh
Last
my
last charge. Last charge.
Wow,
Uh,
that's pretty cool.
Now we have to get out of here. So you turn it into stone. It falls over onto the beach. Part of it falls into the water. Some of the stone heads just crack and fall off as this massive thing, and the weight of it in stone. You know, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Can somebody tell me how to get out of here? I guess you can't because you don't know where east goes. So I'll tell you. Go
We
to
have
the
no
bubble
idea.
room. So from the bubble room, can you tell me how to get out of here, please?
So are you saying that after we wait 20 minutes, we can teleport out of this?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah, I could do that. The bubble room, we take the southeastern teleporter. Oh, wait. Yeah. Hold on here. F out. Yeah. That'll probably work. Yeah. Southeastern teleporter. And it's up into the northwest,
Okay.
which takes us to teleport room 3. How do we get back to... We need to get to D. Where's D out? Oh gosh. Okay. You guys see how we do this? Maybe that's not what we need to do.
Oh no. Are we going to be lost?
No, we can do it. We need to go. We need C. Where's C out? So we need to get to teleport room 2 eventually. Okay, yeah, this is good. Yeah, we take B. We do what I just said. We take the south one. Southeastern teleporter, but when it's linked to the northwest.
Okay.
That takes us into like rhomboid or like what do you
You
call
can just
that?
like tell me the northeast, northwest, south teleporter.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can just do that.
Yeah. So now we're in like a lozenge shaped room, and we just take the northwest teleporter. It's got a northeast thing. We step on it.
Okay.
That takes us to B out. It should take us to teleport room 2, which is what we call it.
Okay.
Then we want to go to the north teleporter. It's headed to the northwest. We step on it. That takes us back to that T room.
Okay.
And now we go to the north teleporter in that room, which takes us to the original teleport room. Phew, jeez.
Right. You you used all the charges from that wand and slain the Hydra. I assume that you gathered up all the gold and put it in your bags and stuff. I mean, that would have been like
Well,
order of operation
yeah,
number one after that happened.
We had to wait at least long enough
Right.
for the.
And you all make it back to the Bristleback Inn alive for another adventure. Now, I know you got to go, Jay, but that ends the adventure for the night.